Beneath the surface of your thoughts, beneath the noise of diagnosis, prognosis, fear, and resistance, there is a silent chamber of power within you that has never been touched by disease, never been bruised by circumstance, and never been limited by any human opinion. It has watched your entire life unfold, moment by moment, breath by breath, and it has never once lost its calm. It is the life principle in you, the indwelling presence that knows only wholeness, only order, only perfect rhythm. And while the world has taught you to fight, to tense, to struggle against what hurts, this interior life has been quietly waiting for you to do something far more powerful, to speak to it, to cooperate with it, to let it win for you. You are not merely a body moving through space. You are an inner world projecting outward. Your cells, your organs, your nervous system, your chemistry, all are like instruments in the orchestra of your subconscious mind. The beliefs you have accepted, the images you have nourished, the emotions you have repeated, these become the silent symphony your body is compelled to play. This is not punishment, and it is not mystery. It is law, universal, impartial, and profoundly compassionate. For the same law that produced discord when misused can produce harmony when rightly directed. The same subconscious mind that records stress, fear, and conflict can also record peace, faith, and healing, if you choose to give it a new pattern. There comes a moment in many lives when the struggle becomes unbearable. The test results, the label, the whispered conversations in sterile hallways, the long nights of worry, these things wear on the mind like a constant storm. Perhaps you have known this storm, perhaps you are in it now. You may have felt that your only path was to fight the body, to fight the disease, to fight the fate you think has fallen upon you. In that tension, the nervous system tightens, stress hormones flood the bloodstream, sleep becomes shallow, hope becomes fragile. Yet you are not weak, you are not abandoned, you are simply directing the infinite power within you in the wrong direction. The subconscious mind is not moved by struggle, it is moved by feeling. It does not respond to fear-based commands, but to the gentle, steady conviction of belief. When you worry, you are praying for what you do not want. When you rehearse catastrophe, you are sending blueprints of disorder into the mental factory that prints out your experience. When your inner dialogue says, "This will get worse, I am helpless, nothing works for me," the subconscious takes those words and feelings as a request, as a script to be enacted. It does not judge you. It does not argue. It simply says yes to the emotional pattern you repeat. In the language of modern science, your repeated thoughts and feelings sculpt your neural pathways. They strengthen some circuits and weaken others, as surely as lifting a weight strengthens a muscle. Your brain is not fixed. It is plastic, capable of reshaping itself. Each thought carries an electromagnetic signature, a vibrational frequency that passes through your nervous system, your heart, your hormonal milieu, and deeper still, beneath the cells and synapses, the subconscious mind acts as the organizing field, the invisible script that directs this entire bio-psycho-spiritual drama. The life principle in you never sleeps. It listens to every word you whisper inside, every story you silently replay, and it goes to work, making those inner patterns objective in your body and in your circumstances. The great turning point comes when you realize you need not continue that old script. You do not need to fight the disease as an enemy. Fighting makes it real and powerful in your mind. It gives it center stage. You can, instead, turn your attention to the life principle, the silent inner doctor that knows how to orchestrate healing, balance, and restoration far beyond what your conscious intellect can calculate. This does not mean you abandon medical care. Rather, you align with the highest intelligence that can guide your choices, work through your treatments, and harmonize all processes within you. You stop struggling with the effect and begin cooperating with the cause. There was once a woman who, after years of tension and fear, received a grave diagnosis. Her first instinct was war. She spoke of battling her condition, of attacking the illness, of fighting with every ounce of her strength. Nights brought little sleep. Her mind replayed worst-case scenarios, and her body remained in a perpetual state of alarm. One day, utterly exhausted, she sat in silence and felt something rise from within, a quiet question. Has this way of fighting brought you peace? The answer was obvious. She realized that her mind was as inflamed as her body, that her inner world was at war with itself. In that moment, she turned inward in a new way. Instead of arguing with her body, she began to speak to the life principle. She placed her hand over her heart and whispered, "Divine intelligence within me, you created these cells. You maintain every function. You know how to restore balance. I do not know how, but you do. I now cooperate with you. I yield my fear to you. I speak only of your healing presence." Night after night she repeated this gentle prayer, not as desperate pleading, but as scientific mental conditioning. She imagined the life force moving calmly through her body, like a clear river washing every cell. She felt gratitude as if a wonderful process had already begun. Slowly her sleep deepened, her tension softened, her decisions became guided, sensible, peaceful. Over time her body responded in ways that astonished even her physicians. And whether through treatment, lifestyle, or grace, she knew the inner change had opened the door. The subconscious mind responds to such inner conversations. It is always listening. When you speak to the life principle with calm authority, you are not talking into the air. You are addressing the very center of your being, the infinite intelligence that built your bones, formed your heart, and coordinates the billions of processes occurring in you this very moment. This inner doctor does not argue with disease. It simply reestablishes the original blueprint of wholeness you were born with. Your part is to stop reinforcing the patterns of fear and begin feeding it patterns of faith, harmony, and health. Consider your mind as a vast mental factory, and your thoughts as the instructions you send to it. For years, perhaps, you have sent directives of anxiety. Something is wrong with me. I am fragile. My body betrays me. I am unlucky. I always get sick. The factory does not question these orders. It simply produces according to the blueprint. Yet you can send new instructions. You can say, gently and repeatedly, "The life principle in me is now restoring every cell to perfect order. My body is the temple of the living spirit. Every system in me is governed by divine law, and that law is harmony, balance, and peace." When you speak thus, with feeling, you are programming new patterns into your subconscious mind. Modern neuroscience confirms that emotional intensity cements neural patterns. The more often you combine a thought with a feeling, the deeper the groove becomes. This is what some call emotional circuitry. If you repeatedly feel helpless, the brain comes to expect helplessness. If you repeatedly feel gratitude and calm, the brain begins to default to those states. Disease, in many cases, is accompanied and intensified by chronic stress. The body bathed in stress hormones, the immune system suppressed, the healing mechanisms disrupted. This is not your fault, but it is your opportunity. For every moment you shift from fear to trust, from tension to inner surrender, you reduce the stress load and open the way for the life principle to work more freely. This is where the art of scientific prayer comes in. Prayer, in its highest sense, is not begging an external deity to change his mood toward you. It is consciously aligning our mind with the eternal good that already is. It is scientific because it uses definite methods, affirmation, visualization, feeling, to imprint the subconscious with the desired pattern. You cease describing the problem and begin describing the solution. You stop talking about the disease as sovereign, and you start talking to the life principle as supreme. You might say many times a day, very quietly, "The life principle within me is now active, restoring me to wholeness. I am a channel of divine health. Every cell of my body hears this word and responds. I am calm, I am safe, I am guided." At first, the old voice may protest. It may say, "This is nonsense. Look at the evidence." This is where the law of substitution is your ally. You do not argue with the old thought. You replace it. When the old pattern arises, "Nothing will change. This is hopeless," you gently but firmly interject, "I choose a new pattern. The infinite life that created me is flowing through me now. I walk by inner sight. not by appearances. Again and again you substitute faith for fear, peace for panic, order for chaos. Over time, the old neural pathways become unused, like neglected roads, and the new ones become well-traveled highways of healing and confidence. Some of the most powerful work you can do with your subconscious mind happens when you are closest to its doorway, as you fall asleep. This is what we may call the sleeping method. In the moments before sleep, the analytical part of the mind becomes drowsy, the gatekeeper relaxes, and suggestions pass more easily into the subconscious where they take root. If night after night you fall asleep rehearsing symptoms, worrying about death, or replaying fearful conversations, you are sowing seeds that must bear bitter fruit. But if you use this sacred window to speak to the life principle, to visualize wholeness, to feel gratitude for healing as if it were already accomplished, you transform the whole night into a workshop of recovery. As you lie in bed, you may place your hands gently on the part of your body that seems distressed, and you may speak inwardly. Life principle, you know how to mend this. You are the wisdom that formed this body. I now give you full permission to restore, to reorganize, to renew. I will not interfere with fear. I will not contradict you with doubt. I rest now in your care. Then imagine your body bathed in a gentle, luminous light, like a quiet glow that knows exactly where to go and what to do. Imagine every cell listening to this inner command, responding with obedience. Do not force the image. Let it be soft, like a dream forming on the edge of sleep. Fall asleep in that feeling, and know that the subconscious mind will continue the work while you rest. This is not superstition. It is mental law. What you impress in the subconscious at night is expressed in your life by day. Science tells us that during sleep, tissues repair, memories consolidate, immune function shifts. Your body is not idle. It is busy. How much more powerfully can it work when the guiding intelligence has been given a clear, loving instruction, rather than a confused, a fearful one? Now let us go deeper. Beyond the personal story of your illness or condition, beyond your name and history, there is a universal pattern of wholeness. It is the divine blueprint of your being. Think of it as a perfect template, an inner design held in the mind of the infinite. Your life may have drawn many scribbles over this template, trauma, stress, inherited beliefs, collective fears, but beneath all these markings, the original blueprint remains intact. The life principle refers to this blueprint, not to the scribbles. When you align with it through prayer, visualization, and emotional alchemy, you are giving permission for that original pattern to reassert itself. Emotional alchemy is the art of transforming the lead of fear into the gold of peace. It is not pretending that pain does not exist. It is transmuting the energy behind it. When you feel fear arise, you acknowledge it. Yes, this is fear. But then you turn to the life principle and say, I now use this energy for healing. I choose to see this as a call to deeper faith, as an opportunity to discover the strength within me. I choose to let this experience press me into closer contact with the infinite. In that decision, your nervous system begins to shift. The same surge of energy that might have fueled panic is redirected to fuel trust. The heart rate slows, the breath deepens, the muscles relax. These are not small changes. They are signals to the body that the emergency is passing, that repair can resume. In this way, your emotions become allies instead of tyrants. Each moment of fear becomes a doorway to prayer. Each pang of doubt becomes a reminder to substitute a higher thought. The subconscious mind is always listening. It hears your inner dialogue about your body, your worth, your future. When it hears you reaffirm the life principle again and again, it begins to rearrange your mental and physical world to match. There is also great wisdom in secrecy and silence. When a seed is planted in the earth, it is not exposed to constant digging and examination. It is covered, protected, given darkness in which to germinate. Your desires, your mental images of health, your inner affirmations, these too are seeds. If you proclaim them to those who cannot understand, who may mock, doubt, or contradict you, You expose the seed to harsh elements before it has taken root. There is a sacred power in keeping your deepest convictions silent, known only to you and the life principle. You can walk through the world with an inward smile, knowing that your subconscious is quietly carrying out your instructions, even if no one else knows. So you cultivate an inner sanctuary, a private garden of thought. In this garden you plant the seeds of wholeness, peace, and divine cooperation. You water them with feeling, with repetition, with quiet gratitude. You pull out the weeds of fear by substituting higher affirmations. You do not shout about this garden to passers-by. You tend it silently, day and night. Over time, its fruits become visible in your face, your tone of voice, your decisions, your body's responses. People may say, "You see, I'm different," without knowing why. You will know you have stopped fighting with shadows and started talking to the light within you. There is a deeper layer still, the realization that you are not alone in this process. Divine intelligence flows through all human beings, including those who treat you, support you, and walk beside you. As you speak to the life principle, you can consciously include them. You may affirm, "The same life principle that lives in me guides my doctors, my caregivers, my loved ones. Their minds are receptive to wisdom. Their hands are instruments of healing. We are all cooperating with the same infinite intelligence." In this way, you move from isolation into a sense of unity. Your healing is not a battle against fate, but a dance with a larger intelligence that pervades all. Some have called this the quantum field, the unified field, the vibrational matrix. The words matter less than the experience, a sense that you are immersed in a living ocean of mind, and that your thoughts and feelings are ripples in this sea. When you change your inner vibration, you change the ripples you send. When you choose trust over fear, gratitude over bitterness, hope over despair, you are tuning yourself like an instrument to a higher frequency. The subconscious receives this tuning and adjusts your entire system accordingly. Now let us speak to that subconscious directly. As you listen, allow these words to address that deeper part of you, the silent engine of your life. There is in you now an infinite life principle that knows only harmony. It knows how to regulate your heartbeat, how to coordinate your endocrine system, how to maintain your immune defenses, how to repair tissues and eliminate toxins. You do not need to teach it anything. You need only cease contradicting it with fear. Right now, as you breathe, that life principle is active. It is moving through your bloodstream, your nerves, your organs. It hears every word, every mental image, every feeling. It responds not to panic, but to calm conviction. Today, you begin to speak to it with love. You say inwardly, "Life principle, I trust you. I no longer fight you with my thoughts. I no longer curse my body, call it names, or speak of it as my enemy. I bless this body as your sacred instrument. I bless these cells as your servants. I bless my nervous system as your communication network. I now instruct every part of me to align with your original blueprint of health, balance, and peace." As you say these words, feel them. Let them sink below the surface of your intellect into the deeper water of feeling. This is how seeds are sown. If troubling symptoms arise, you do not deny their existence, but you deny them the power to dictate your inner state. You may say, "Yes, this sensation is here, but it is temporary. The eternal life within me is greater. This condition has a beginning and an end. The life principle in me is without beginning or end. I place my attention on that which is permanent, not on the passing shadow." In time, your emotional reactions become softer, less frantic. You give the life principle room to maneuver. Your entire history of fear, worry, and self-attack can be laid down, starting now. You need not fix yesterday's thoughts. You need only choose today's. The law of your subconscious mind works in the present. It is impressed by what you are thinking and feeling now. Even if you have spent years rehearsing unhappy scripts, you can begin a new script in this moment, and the subconscious will respond. Visualize now, in the quiet theater of your mind, a future version of yourself standing in light. This self is calm, peaceful, and deeply at home in their body. They stand upright, breathing easily, their face relaxed, their eyes clear. Around them there is a gentle radiance, a sense of quiet authority. This is not fantasy. This is a mental blueprint, an instruction to your subconscious. You do not need to know how you will become this version. You need only see it, feel it, and return to it often, especially as you drift into sleep. The subconscious will take this blueprint and begin arranging your thoughts, impulses, and choices toward its realization. You might see yourself walking through a place that once frightened you, a hospital corridor, a clinic, a pharmacy, and instead of collapsing into fear, you see yourself moving with composure, blessing every person you pass, affirming silently, "The life principle in me guides me perfectly. I am safe, I am loved, I am supported." Feel the emotional difference between panic and this calm authority. That difference is the electromagnetic signature you are sending into your body and into the larger field. That feeling is what impresses the subconscious. Over time, as you persist in these practices, scientific prayer, visualization, emotional alchemy, the law of substitution, the sleeping method, you begin to notice subtle shifts. Perhaps you sleep more deeply. Perhaps your appetite stabilizes. Perhaps you find yourself making wiser decisions about rest, nourishment, and treatment without forcing yourself. You realize that the life principle is not an abstract idea. It is a living presence, cooperating with your every effort. You begin to feel less like a victim of a random disease and more like a participant in a profound process of transformation. Remember always, the inner world creates the outer world. This does not mean you are to blame for your condition. Blame is just another form of self-attack. It means you hold a key. Your subconscious mind is the core creative power of your human experience. It can turn stress into sickness, but it can also turn faith into recovery. It can harden the body with fear or soften it with love. Every time you choose a thought of harmony, you are strengthening the pathways of healing. Every time you surrender a fear to the life principle and replace it with trust, you are entering into divine cooperation. And so, as this journey continues, you find yourself less interested in fighting, tooth and nail, against symptoms, and more interested in talking to the source within you. You discover that quiet inner conversations are more powerful than angry outer debates. You become a student of your own mind, observing how it reacts, how it dramatizes, how it predicts disaster, instead of, after believing every tale it tells, you gently lead it back to the higher truth. There is a life in me that is bigger than this. I am more than this condition. I am the consciousness that can choose what to dwell upon. I choose the life principle. I choose wholeness. This is not a one-time act, but a way of living. Day by day, thought by thought, feeling by feeling, you reclaim your inner sovereignty. You stop handing your power to fear, to statistics, to other people's projections. You respect medical knowledge, you listen to wise counsel, yet you remember that no opinion, however authoritative, can enter your subconscious unless you accept it. You become selective. You say inwardly, only those ideas that align with divine harmony and healing have the right to take root in me. All others pass by like clouds. In this way, you stand guard at the gate of your mind, not with tension, but with calm discernment. As you continue to listen, let these words become your own inner voice. I am no longer fighting the disease. Fighting gave it my energy, my attention, my belief. I now speak to the life principle and let it win for me. I talk to the silent creative power in my subconscious mind, and it answers through new insights, through peace in the night, through guided decisions, through the gentle improvement of my condition. Even when I do not see immediate evidence, I trust that the life principle is working in the unseen, orchestrating what needs to unfold. You rest more often now in quiet trust. When fear knocks, you do not slam the door, nor do you invite it in to rule the house. You acknowledge it, and then you turn again to the life principle. I understand, fear, that you are trying to protect me, but I choose to place my protection in the infinite. I welcome the feeling of safety that comes from knowing an intelligence greater than my fear is at work. As you do this repeatedly, the emotional charge around your diagnosis softens. You reclaim your days from the dictatorship of worry. This inner change is itself a profound healing, regardless of how quickly or slowly the physical body responds. It is the healing of your relationship with your own life. You move from being at war with yourself to being in alliance with the deepest part of you. The mind becomes a kinder environment. The body, sensing this, relaxes. Stress no longer drives every decision. Peace begins to whisper its suggestions. You may feel drawn to new practices, new ways of caring for yourself, new relationships that support your well-being. All of this is the life principle reorganizing your experience to match the new patterns you are feeding it. And so, gently, without fanfare, you awaken to a profound truth. All creation in your life begins in mind, not in the surface mind that worries and analyzes, but in the deep mind that receives your convictions and makes them flesh. You realize that you have always been in conversation with this deeper mind, but until now the conversation was unconscious. You spoke in tones of fear, doubt, and self-attack, and it responded faithfully. Now, you choose to make that conversation conscious, to speak in tones of love, trust, and divine cooperation. The subconscious, ever obedient, will respond just as faithfully. You stand now at a threshold. On one side is the old way, struggle, resistance, fighting the disease as if it were a foreign invader separate from your being. On the other side is a new way, speaking to the life principle, cooperating with the divine blueprint, aligning your thoughts, feelings, and images with the reality of wholeness. You are free to choose. No one can choose for you. The infinite waits patiently, never forcing, always inviting. Let your choice be simple and calm. I choose life. I choose to talk to the life principle within me. I choose to let it win for me. I surrender my struggle and accept divine cooperation. I allow my subconscious mind to be reprogrammed with peace, gratitude, and faith. I fall asleep each night in the feeling of being held by an infinite love that knows exactly what to do. I wake each morning with the quiet certainty that something good is moving through my life, even if I cannot yet see its full expression. As these words settle into you, feel the subtle shift already taking place. Not a loud, dramatic burst, but a gentle turning of your inner compass. You are not the same as you were when you began listening. Something has been revealed, not from outside, but from within. A remembrance, perhaps, that you are more than a body, more than a diagnosis, more than a story of suffering. You are a center of consciousness, endowed with the power to choose what you dwell upon, what you affirm, what you imagine. You are a living expression of the life principle itself, learning to use its laws consciously. From this moment forward, every time you are tempted to fight, you will remember that there is a higher way. You will pause, take a breath, and turn inward. You will speak with calm authority to the life principle. You are in charge here, not fear. You are the healing presence in me. I cooperate with you. I trust you. I allow you to lead. And as you do, you will find that the storms do not grip you as tightly. The noise of the world fades a little, and the still, small voice of the infinite becomes clearer. This is your sacred journey, from stress to inner peace, from lack to a sense of inner abundance, from fear to divine cooperation. You walk it not by force, but by gentle, persistent alignment with the laws of your own mind. You do not need to shout, strive, or struggle. The life principle is not impressed by volume. It is moved by quiet conviction. Let this quiet conviction be your companion. Let it guide your words, your thoughts, your sleep, your waking hours. And as the days unfold, remember with calm certainty, the transformation you seek does not begin in the laboratory, the hospital, or the opinions of others. It begins in the subtle shift of consciousness, in the decision to stop fighting the disease and start talking to the life principle, letting it win for you.